Bad day to be a Muschamp hacker, folks. It is a bad day to be a Muschamp hacker. You lose. I win. Let's have a Monday. Let's freaking go. Taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377, folks. Even when Muschamp wins, he loses. Even when he wins, he loses. You can't stop us. You can't stop us. All right, now let's really get into this thing. Monday, September the 13th, 2021. Guys, apologize for those technical issues, but we are back. We are rocking. We are rolling. Talking South Carolina's big 20-17 win over ECU over the weekend. Also, guys, looking ahead to this weekend, the Gamecocks taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. To hell with Georgia. It is Georgia week. Again, appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Thank you so much for being flexible, rolling with the punches. Apologies for the madness, but again, not today, Muschamp Packers. You can't slow our roll right now as we're sitting 2-0. Feels good to be good. Feels good to be good. Muschamp, even when he wins, he loses. Sucks to suck, Will. Sucks to suck. Not only did you get fired, but I stole your slogan too. Sucks to suck. All right, let's jump to the phone lines. Dalton, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's up, bud? Got a nice win Saturday. It wasn't a pretty win, but a win's a win.
A win is a win, man. Just like golf, it's a math class, not an art class. They don't put pictures on the scorecard.
Yeah, I just wanted to call and mainly talk about the officiating on Saturday because it was completely garbage the entire game. And I don't really know, like, who's operating the replay booth in, Birmingham and for the NCAA or for the SEC, but I think they might need to get their eyes checked because it seemed like every damn, review that came up on Saturday went against us. But
yeah.
That's sort of it was frustrating, not having any offense was frustrating, but Zeb Noland and the offense pulled it together right at the last minute, got us the win. So it was good, but we definitely need to fix a lot of things going into Saturday against Georgia. I don't expect to win, but I hope to keep it close, by at least one or two touchdowns. But
yeah, the officiating was, and I'll be honest with you, Dalton. I'm not a guy that I don't like to spend a lot of energy complaining about officials because it's just something it's like totally out of our control. I mean, I can't control what the officials are doing or what they're calling. And I'll be honest with you, some of the calls, some of the reviews on Saturday, they actually got them right. But, I mean, man, it was just like, how is every single 50-50 call going against South Carolina? Like how is it possible? And that's sure enough what happened. But, again, the bottom line is you found a way to overcome. I agree with you. Realistically, looking ahead, you have a lot of things that you need to fix. Because, again, hey, let's be honest with you, Dalton. Just because you won the game, right, that's why we're kind of overlooking those deficiencies and those issues and where you messed up, right? Winning cures everything. If South Carolina had lost that game 20-17, all we'd be talking about is everything that South Carolina did not do, everywhere things went wrong. So, yeah, no doubt, the mistakes you made on Saturday, they're going to get exposed at some point. I mean, if you go to Georgia and can't block any better than you did, you might not have 100 yards of offense. I'm not even over-exaggerating. So, a lot of issues to fix, but you know what? The best thing is this. It's such a luxury for a coaching staff and a head football coach to be able to have correctable mistakes and teaching moments coming off of a victory versus coming off of a loss. So, tough.
The Juju Mcdowell and Josh Van really stepped it up on the offense on Saturday. I think those two guys are going to be coming in very big for us this season. I mean, our rushing game seemed deficient. I'm not really sure why. The most
2.8 yards per carry, South Carolina average. I mean, that's just baffling.
our running back room is probably one of the top 3 in the SEC East right now. So if we can't get any yards on the ground like that, then you basically have no chance at winning against any other SEC opponent, except for maybe Vanderbilt and maybe Tennessee. So.
Yeah. I mean, dude, South Carolina is just not going to win many football games and games where it cannot run the ball. And you got away with it on Saturday. You got away with it. But, yeah, you're not going to win many SEC games if you cannot run the football any better than what you've been doing. And, again, that's supposed to be your strength. I mean, that's supposed to be your strength. I genuinely, man, it's a little baffling to me. Well, looks like it hung up. I don't know if he lost service or what happened. But, anyways, to the point Dalton was making, I don't know. It's hard to explain because I think you have the guys up front. It doesn't make any sense as to why the run blocking and the run game as a whole was so bad. It was just bad. It was very, very bad at times. You were getting pushed around at times, especially in that first half. But again, folks, bottom line is this: you found a way. You found a way to win the football game. Like I told you guys earlier, I'm not an "I told you so" guy. I'm not going to sit here and harp on like I was right, you were wrong type of deal, but. You know, the game went in different ways exactly as I expected. You know, ECU comes out, they punch you in the mouth early. Bottom line, they punch you in the mouth early. You knew ECU was going to try to do that at home. They hit you early. You know, the game, I knew South Carolina had some problems going in. I knew they had some issues. I knew they had some deficiencies. I'll say this, though. Let's first shout out the Carolina defense. What a job. Again, you're going to get a real test this weekend, and now as you get into SEC play. But I'll be honest, in the preseason, I expected East Carolina to have some success against you, and for that defense to hold up the way they did, they're single-handedly the reason you won the football game. So kudos to Clayton White's unit. It's all smooth sailing for Clayton White and that group so far throughout the season. Let's jump back to the phone lines real quick. Zachary, what's going on, man? How are you?
Chris, I'm just recovering from all the heart attacks they gave me on Saturday.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I think Saturday took a couple years off a couple people's lives for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, to take some positives away, like the last guy said, Josh Mann and Juju Mcdowell, they came up huge for us. That that catch by Josh Mann was huge, and honestly, that touchdown, they could have called that either way. We can talk about the officiating. That was questionable, but Juju McDowell was also really big too, like that punt return, and he was, he's just so quick, and I think he's so quick and so small that he's able to take advantage of like those little holes that the offensive line was giving them. That Kevin Harris and Marshawn Lloyd, who are bigger, couldn't really get through, and the defense also came up really big. I said this last week that I was really high on this defense, and now I proved it. The defensive line was very dominant. Darius Rush, he's looking really good, and I'm glad he's finally getting his chance. Cam Smith, he's a bonehead, but he's a talented bonehead. So yeah, I'll let him slide with some dumb things he did on Saturday. But you can't do that against the really good teams. But yeah, all in all, yeah, like you said, you found a way to win, and that was coaching through adversity, and Beamer did a really good job with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you make some great points. Cam Smith, the talented bonehead. I really like that description. Yeah. Again, it's just hats off to the defense, man. Again, EIU throwaway game, ECU, are they a great team? I don't know. But either way, I mean, we just all the questions you have on the defensive side. You look back at last year, and again, it's just 2 games. We're about to get into conference play. Like I'm, as you can tell, man, like I'm excited for the defense. I give kudos to the defense. I tip my cap to the defense. I'm not ready to say we have a great defense. I need to see it more. I need to see it in conference play against elite competition. That's just where I'm at right now. But you can see the potential. And the thing that's most encouraging to me is more just so how we're playing. I mean, it at least feels like we're much more disciplined. We're much more fundamentally sound. We're flying to the football. We're not quite thinking as much. And you look at last year, and were we more talented in the back half? Absolutely. I mean, as far as NFL talent, Absolutely. But why did it not click? You know, it just felt like we were playing half speed at times and we were thinking too much and the defense was apparently too complex for guys. I just feel like we got a bunch of guys right now flying to the football. I think Clayton White's done an incredible job with play calling. We're aggressive. We're the aggressor. We're hitting. It's a lot of fun to watch right now. It is. It's a lot of fun to watch. And again, they'll get a stern test on Saturday against Georgia. I know Carolina fans love to say, "Oh, Georgia's not that good offensively." Like, Georgia played one of the best defenses in the country week 1. So I think if that's what you're hanging your hat on, I mean, Georgia also scored 56 points against UAB over the weekend. So they're not a bunch of slouches on offense. Let's forget that. But yeah, man, you've got some things from the first 2 weeks you can really build on. We know the defensive line is really, 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 really good. And I think you're starting to see some potential in the back half, man. Obviously, Cam Smith, if he can just keep his composure, is most certainly a guy who's going to be a playmaker for you. And then guys like Darius Rush, Jalen Dickerson, Jalen Foster, guys are just making plays, man. Guys are making plays. And it's, like I said, it's a blast to watch right now.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Jalen Foster took that spot from R.J. Roderick. I definitely thought that he was going to be starting at safety back there, and I'm really surprised at how well so far Jalen Foster has played. Of course, you can say it's EIU and ECU, but it's like with limited potential, with the limited exposure that he's had, it's quite impressive.
Yeah, I agree, man. Jalen Foster, call it what it is. He was not like a highly touted, highly rated guy. So, yeah, no, he's played really well. And, again, we talked about this in the preseason, man. With the coaching change, with the staff change, not for everybody, but you knew there were going to be some players that you looked at and you were like, man, like a coaching change really, really helped them. And you mentioned Josh Vann. You mentioned Dakereon Joyner. Guys on that defense and that secondary that had played limited snaps or no snaps at all and all of a sudden are playing good football. A guy like Brad Johnson at the linebacker spot. I mean, it's nice to see, man. It's really nice to see. It looks like some guys are actually being developed. What a concept. Guys are being developed. So, again, we got a long season to go, and college football is very week to week. And so, like, I'm not going to sit here and spend all week telling you, like, we're some elite defensive team. And I think right now we're ranked, like, 4th in the country in overall defense. That's not where we're going to finish. We're not the 4th best defense in the country. We're just not. But it at least, I will tell you this, it at least feels good early in the season because I'll be honest with you, I thought the offense was going to carry this team early. And, I mean, the defense won you that game Saturday. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. The defense won you that game. So, hey, some days the offense is going to win you the game. Some days it's going to be the defense, and I applaud the defense for rising to the occasion.
And honestly, I saw some people complain about, like, stats play calling. I really think that if the offense executed it, then, like, it wouldn't have been much of a problem, to be honest, because you had a play where there were 2 forced throws by Seb. Josh Vann had an unfortunate fumble. Joyner had an unfortunate fumble, and it's like if you were able to execute at the level you're expected to execute, I don't think that some of these play calls look that bad. I mean, you got Lincoln Riley out there, and if you execute the way you did, what you gonna say? You gonna say fire Lincoln Riley? Like, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this, man. I don't care who's calling plays. If you can't block, none of it matters. I mean, that's just the bottom line right now when it comes to offense. And I also think we can all agree now that, listen, I like Zeb Noland. I appreciate Zeb Noland. It's a great story. He's not the guy I want leading my football team to this SEC season. I'm sorry. He's just not. He's not it. He's not the answer. This might sound kind of harsh, but it's like, dude, there's a reason he came to South Carolina with the intention of hanging the cleats up. You know what I mean? So just call it for what it is. It's been a great story. He's gotten us to 2-0. I really hope that's where the Zeb Noland story ends, because I fear if you go into Athens for whatever reason with him as your starting quarterback, it is going to be a very, very long afternoon. It just is. People berated Colin Hill. They still do. Zeb Noland is just Colin Hill reincarnated. What's the difference in the two guys? They're the same player. So, best version of this offense, this team, I've said it a million times, Luke Doty, got to get him back healthy. But the offensive line, bottom line, just has to be better. I mean, there's just no excuse. They got to be better. The only way to put it. So,
that was like I was just at the end of the half, I was just like disgusted with the entire offense. I was like, wow, y'all went out and y'all did something. Like,
yeah. I mean, again, kudos to the defense because I really feel like if ECU scores another touchdown in that second half, I don't think we win. I thought I'm like offensively, I don't think we can score 2 touchdowns on offense. It didn't feel like it at least. So
yeah. Also, because like last thing, because he saved the game. I hate to say it. I'm going to ask you for permission because this is your show. Can I give Muschamp credit for this one thing, that one thing that he stuck with Parker White and he kept believing in him. You know,
yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean that's totally fair. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's one good thing that Muschamp did do. He stuck with them after year one, where lots of people were like, I wouldn't want him kicking a field goal just to kick a field goal. You know, that's how the fan base was at that point. Like, I don't want this kid kicking a field goal just to kick one. You know, we're up by 100. You know, I don't want him to kick a field goal just for doing it. You know, that's how people were feeling about Parker White. Now it's like people are saying he's the GOAT, and and people are just like, and people are fully confident that he can go out there and do it. So I mean, like I said, that's one thing we can give Muschamp credit on.
For sure.
For that.
No, for sure. I hear you, man. No doubt. Well, hey, I appreciate the call, man. Really good stuff. Glad we're 2-0 and looking forward to Georgia. No doubt.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
All right, man. Take care. Good stuff, guys. 843-790-3337. Some of the questions, the comments are rolling here on a Monday. Also, guys, because of the technical difficulties, forgot to remind you guys, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to TDC Questions channel, the TDC Questions channel, to be sure your questions are answered. Sperminator says, with not replacing a struggling Zeb, does that tell us our quarterback room is far weaker than we thought? Yeah, I think it tells you that the guys behind Luke Doty, they're not all that great. So, jump back to the phone lines real quick. Yo, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good. I reminded myself on Saturday, I was telling my parents were watching the game with me, and she was like, her parents, and I'm like, this is why I'm a Gamecock fan.
Yeah, what a day,
Yeah.
What a game. I mean, that was an exhausting game, honestly. So
I knew it'd be tough, but I didn't think it'd be like that tough.
Try to tell you all week. Try to tell everybody. I mean, dude, again, I don't want to be the I told you so guy, but everybody thought it was crazy. It's not. Here's the thing. Again, it was not because ECU's world beaters. It's because we are not world beaters. That's just the reality. So again, it was tougher than I thought, for sure. I mean, I thought we'd at least be in control of the game. I didn't think we wouldn't have the lead until we literally kicked the game-winning field goal. So, but hey, just thank God, dude. Thank God Carolina found a way.
Yeah, thank the Lord.
Yeah.
You probably didn't hear, but I did listen to Shane Beamer's halftime interview with, I can't remember our interview's name, but anyway, he said, well, I like Shane Beamer. I don't know if I remember Muschamp Beamer saying this. Maybe it's because I'm so scarred from that coaching staff. But what Shane said at halftime was, he did give credit to the defense for getting that touchdown before the half. But what I did actually like about what Shane said at halftime was, he didn't say, we've committed stupid penalties. He didn't say it like that. He said, we've committed stupid penalties, and he emphasized the word stupid. And I can't remember the last time a coach for us said that. He was genuinely angry.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hear you, man. Let me just put it to you this way. Let me say this, and this isn't like directly at you. This is just like a blanket statement because I've seen it a lot. We got to stop comparing what's going on right now to the Muschamp era. Like, dude, I get it. I totally get it. But again, it makes me chuckle, John, because I mean, I said fire Muschamp 2 years ago and got destroyed for it by a lot of people. I remember a time not so long ago when everybody loved Will Muschamp. So I get it. It's popular right now to hate Will Muschamp and say he sucked and he was a bonehead, but everybody loved him at one point. Yourself probably included, no offense, and everybody else too. So, I mean, Shane Beamer's not Will Muschamp. Thank God. Thank God. But it's just like, even me on my end, I'm like, dude, like I see fans saying like, oh, Will Muschamp would have never beaten a team like this. A Will Muschamp team would have never come back from. And I mean, dude, I can't believe I'm sitting here like almost low key defending Will Muschamp, but it's like, bro, we had the exact same game happen against Louisiana Tech in 2017. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's fun, it's popular to talk about how much he sucked, but I think we just got to put the Muschamp era in the past, bro, and just focus on what Beamer's doing. I mean, again, I'm not saying that directly to you. I'm just saying that in general because I've just seen it all over social media, and it's like, bro, I get it. I mean, I like to poke at Muschamp, the Muschamp hackers, but, bro, I've had this energy for 2 years. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know. It just either way. But, no, I like I said, I like what Beamer said. Obviously, he understands the penalties can't happen. You're not a good enough football team to overcome those type of stupid mistakes, and he knows that. He sees that, and, yeah, so.
No, yeah. And, like, I know a couple of people have already, like, called in and talked about the refs and everything, and I'm probably going to be, like, this is probably going to be the last time I bring it up because, we got Georgia on Saturday, but can't help but bring it up. Like, how do you, like, not at least, piece that together with Dax, overruled fumble or, that
right.
way? Like, I mean, it was so obvious and, like, like, by the time I'm going to bring up, the rest, for the week, but it's just like, that play in particular, I'm like, his knee's down and he has the ball.
Yeah, no, dude, I mean, I don't know, man. It's, I mean, the refs were bad. There's no question. But what happened, and again, the bottom line is you overcame. Thank God. So
won the game.
Yeah, thank God.
Won the game. So, did you? I think it was on Gamecock football on social media, like the video of Shane Bieber like jumping up and down or excited after the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
He was like, I'm like, I don't want to compare him to the last guy, but
No, I mean, dude, I get it. Everything's different. We're still fueled off the honeymoon phase. Everything is. I mean, dude, I get it. Like I said, I wasn't necessarily trying to come at you, but it's like, all right, like we get it. I get it, man. Like everything's different. I totally.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I
just here's what I don't want to have happen. I don't want the same thing to happen where it's 5 years later and people are like, this guy was terrible, he sucks, and it's like, dude, you just said how great he was. So like, what changed? You know what I mean? Like,
no, yeah, I'm not gonna be that guy.
Right.
I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm like, I'm not willing. Like, okay, I probably just said that wrong. I am more willing to give Shane Beamer time.
Right, for sure. No doubt. So, well, yeah, I mean, it was like I said, it was a fun victory, and obviously seeing seeing Shane Beamer, the excitement, the joy, obviously, I mean, it was incredible. And you could tell it was a huge win. I mean, I said it all week. It was going to be a huge win. You had to have it. Yeah. You had to have it for the scope of your 2021 season. And, now you got it. So 2-0, here we are. Feels good to be 2-0 and, looking forward to the game this weekend. So.
No, yeah, me too. And, like, I'll probably call in later in the week to talk about more about Georgia, but I think when I'm watching or listening to the game on Saturday, just take this, one play at a time, quarter at a time, the usual stuff, against a team like this.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, that's just me, but, I mean, let me ask you this real quick ago. The last time we played Georgia in Athens 2 years ago, what was the spread?
24 and a half. 24 and a half. 24 and a half.
Okay, so it's bigger this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's about think it'll go down at all, or is it just probably stabilize?
I don't know. I mean, I think the line's going to stay pretty much where it is. I'll be totally honest with you.
Okay.
But that will be dependent on where the money goes and all that. So, but
I was just wondering because I couldn't remember from 2 years ago when we played them up there.
For sure.
But
well, hey John, I appreciate the call. We got calls. So we got calls rolling in, my guy. I'll hit you up.
All right, see you.
All right, thanks, John. Later. 843-790-3377, guys. It's 843-790-3377. I appreciate you guys calling in, but we can't ramble on for 10, 15 minutes. We got too many calls, too many comments, too many things to get to. By the way, that line, South Gun, it has dropped. The Gamecocks are a 31-point underdog. The over-under set at 48. 48. So, I mean, what does that tell you? Vegas is expecting Georgia to score a lot and South Carolina to – I think Vegas probably expects South Carolina to at maximum score 10 points. Again, 843-790-3377, guys. Alex says, do you think that Josh Vann finally steps up and becomes wide receiver one? Also just curious, where were the tight ends on Saturday? I mean, I think he is wide receiver one. I think he is wide receiver one at this point. I mean, he's solidified himself as the most dependable option on the outside. So I think you look at him and you say, hey, Josh Vann has emerged as that go-to dude. Where were the tight ends? I don't know if they were covered. I mean, I don't know. You tried to go to Jaheim Bell early in the game and you threw an interception. So I don't know. That's a great question. Yeah, somebody texts in complaining about the announcers. Yeah, everybody hated the announcers on Saturday. Carolina Titan, Parker White with the game-winning field goals predicted. Fans need to start being realistic. The roster was mismanaged for the last 4 years. Needs time to be fixed. Give Beamer 2 to 3 years. Yeah, I think we have a lot of fans that gain a little perspective. And I honestly hope that's what happened. Fans gain perspective on just how far we have to go. This is an imperfect football team. There are a lot of holes, a lot of deficiencies, a lot of areas on this football team where you're not SEC caliber. That's just bottom line. You're just not SEC caliber yet. You're not a top elite team, and that's okay, but it's just keep that in perspective, guys. Give Shane Beamer time to build. Give Shane Beamer time to recruit, to get this thing rocking and rolling, and if you do that, good things are going to happen. But, again, people who were picking South Carolina to win by 21, 28 points on Saturday, guys, that's just not who South Carolina is right now. That's not who the Gamecocks are. They're not 28 points better than East Carolina. They're not 21 points better than East Carolina. Realistically, and again, I know people balked at the spread of, oh my God, how could South Carolina be a 32-point underdog? Guys, I'll tell you why. Because it took a game-winning field goal for South Carolina to beat a bad East Carolina team. And Georgia is Georgia. You know what I mean? Georgia's Georgia. They're my pick to win the national title. Like, I picked them for a reason. They're one of the best teams in the entire country. They are a playoff-bound football team. Yes, they won 7-3 week one against Clemson. I would say this. Guys, give Clemson credit. Their defense is one of the best in the entire country. I know their offense didn't look great. Georgia's didn't. And, hey, they may not have JT Daniels on Saturday. What's the status of a couple of their guys? Who knows? But, I mean, you cannot pretend like South Carolina is on the level of Georgia, right? You just can't do it. It's silly. It's foolish. It's setting far improper expectations. It just is, bottom line. Now, does that mean Carolina won't cover the 32? That's not what I'm saying, but that's just the fact of the matter. Again, it's college football. Anything can happen. We saw it in 2019. But I tell you this, I think this Georgia team this year is light years better than that Georgia team in 2019, bottom line. Liam Carney, why were we trying to run the ball? We had so many in the box. We were like 5 of 6 on deep passes. What took so long to adjust? Well, I mean, I think our strength is running the football. I don't know. That's a great question. Some of the play calling, I will say, from Satterfield, I mean, I didn't have necessarily issue with it, but some of it felt a little conservative. But I think, honestly, that comes with a lot. Who you have at quarterback? Did they trust Zeb Noland at quarterback on Saturday? I don't know. I think we were trying to avoid the big mistake. Chance Crocker says the Gamecocks will lose to Georgia 45-10. Let's see. Sam Napier, what do you think will be the biggest win of the year this season? It's tough to say. I mean, I'll say this, though. That East Carolina win was big. And I know people might just brush it off and not think highly. But, dude, that was a huge win. That was a huge win. That was a game you had to have. Again, I talked about it all week long, guys. Again, that's my biggest takeaway, though. Kudos to this football team for just finding a way. It was ugly. It was at times embarrassing. It was hard to watch. But the bottom line is this. You found a way to win the football game. Enter discussion. Let's jump back to the phone lines real quick. Justin, what's going on, man? How are you?
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Yeah. Hey, Chris, happy we got the W last Saturday. It was not easy to beat East Carolina,
It was not an easy game at all. And I didn't expect it to be an easy game. I think fans, unfortunately, set improper expectations, expecting that to be some blowout game. Of course, I expected it to be a close game all week, all preseason. And listen, the bottom line is this. You found a way to get the job done. That's it. You found a way to get the job done. A game you had to win. You had to have it. In the scope of your 2021 season, if you're going to go bowling, you had to win. So guess what? Now that you've won, you're 2-0. All kinds of possibilities for your season are opened up. So great win, great team win, great job of overcoming adversity. Now things get very, very, very real with SEC play upcoming.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Chris, and thing about that is, listen, we knew ECU was going to play at Coach K, Chris. And we knew they were a fan last Saturday. We know that.
Yeah, no, dude, for sure. I mean, it's this Saturday is going to be very, very interesting. Again, we're going to continue to learn things about this football team and what the deficiencies and strengths are, and you know, some people need to step up, no question.
Oh yeah, and Chris, and thing about Zach Dooley, he's not mobile, Chris, but you gotta have Luke Dooley win because he's gotta stay healthy, you know.
I mean, yeah, you need to get Luke Doty 110% healthy. You need to get Luke Doty 110% healthy. Zeb Nolan's not that guy. He's not that guy for the entire season, which is fine. I mean, he's done a you know, a fine job. But yeah, I mean, Luke Doty is this team's quarterback. Luke Doty is this team's quarterback, bottom line. So hope and pray and keep your fingers crossed he's healthy this weekend. You know, I know from some people it's, you know, we had a comment on Twitter. You can't put Luke Doty out there against Georgia. You can't throw him to the Wolves. I figured I feel the complete opposite. You have to play Luke Doty this week, man, because the last thing I want to see is just thrusting Luke Doty out against Kentucky in a week and a half, which, by the way, is now a night game, 7 o'clock kickoff at Willie B. You need to get Luke Doty game action, game reps, and knock off the rust against Georgia. He's got to get out there at some point, man. So you go with your best option.
Oh, yeah.
And Luke Doty's this team's best option, absolutely no question.
Oh, yeah. And, Chris, the thing about Luke Doty, we don't sure if he was Westfield last time because you don't want that to happen to Luke Doty East Carolina, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was, you know, I was really hoping that Luke Doty was going to be ready to go. I'm surprised his foot has taken so long, but yeah, like I said, just get him back for this weekend. You got to get him back for this weekend. If you're going to have any chance, I mean, any chance in this game, you got to get him back for this weekend.
Oh yeah, I agree, Chris. And Chris, and we know Zach knows out there because if you play against Georgia, they're gonna eat him alive, you know.
I mean, here's the thing, man. If your offensive line can't block any better than they did over the weekend, then I mean, yeah, that's even more reason that Luke Doty is this team's starting quarterback. I mean, it's just you're gonna have to have a guy who can run around, evade pressure, you know, can be dynamic. You can get creative offensively. You're just not going to line up and just beat Georgia. I'm sorry. You're just not going to. And listen, I'm not here to be doom and gloom and rain on everybody's parade, but you don't have the talent to go in and just line up and beat Georgia. You're going to have to be very creative. You're going to have to catch them off guard. You're going to have to throw in some wrinkles. That is not Zeb Nolan. That's not his game. So.
No, it's not. And Chris, you got to be clear. You got to try different teams, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to for sure. So, Justin, I appreciate the call, my man. Great win over the weekend. I'm looking forward to this weekend against Georgia.
Oh yeah, and Chris, fire call.
Yeah.
And Chris, I was just fun last Saturday. Do you believe Florida State lost to Jacksonville State?
Wild, hey, wild sequence of events. You know, we've got our own set of issues and problems, but thank God I didn't wake up this morning as a Florida State fan. God, what a brutal life that is right now.
Yeah, Chris, it's disaster, you know, because how did this happen? I mean, you thought they could completely cliff it, you think?
I don't know, man. I really don't. I really have no idea how it happened. I don't know. It's the beauty of college football, I guess, man. The beauty of college football.
Oh yeah.
So.
Hey, Chris, that's all I'm saying, man.
Justin, I appreciate it, man. Call in anytime. Thank you so much.
And Chris, are you gonna preview the Georgia game Thursday?
Am I gonna? Yeah, previewing the Georgia game Thursday. Yes. Normal schedule.
Yeah. I can come back in on Thursday.
Yeah. Give us a ring, man. Always welcome. Always welcome.
Yeah, we're talking about Georgia game next Thursday, right, Chris?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll knock it out. No question, my man.
Yeah, I'll be back.
All right, brother. Sounds good. Take care.
You too. Have a good day.
You too. All right, 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. My name is Daniel Johnson, by the way. All right, what do you got to say, Daniel? Because that's the only text I got. Somebody text in, "Go Dogs, dogs by a million." Yeah, you can screw off. To hell with Georgia. 843-790-3377. Cody Gaskins in the TDC Questions channel says, how nice is it to finally see our guys being able to tackle? Feel like we haven't talked much about that issue from last season. Yeah, again, the overall fundamentally, we look better. We look sharper. We look more crisp. Like I said, guys, I don't want to make any proclamations or conclusions that, this defense is just so much worlds better, and, we're a great defense now. I mean, it's funny how week-to-week college football is because, hey, if you go out there and give up 45 points to Georgia, are you still going to be saying it's a great defense? I mean, which is, guys, I hate to say it, it's very possible. That could happen. South Carolina's not going to hold Georgia, over on third down. They're not going to, hold them to 300 yards of offense. It's not going to happen. It's just probably not going to happen. So, I think, again, just keep it in perspective. It's nice to see those things improve, though, and nice to see the way that we are playing. That to me, is the biggest takeaway when it comes to the Gamecocks defense. And, again, you have to tip your cap to them. Through this point in the season, they've played fantastic football. There's no doubt. Let's see. Aaron Gibson, I think we have an offense designed for a Doty type of quarterback, a running quarterback, but a quarterback playing who is not built to run the zone read. That's why our backs keep getting the ball at the middle when Doty would be pulling the ball on a keeper. That's a very good point. Again, this team definitely was built for Luke Doty. There's no question. It wasn't built for Zeb Nolan. It wasn't built for a GA. It wasn't. It was built for Luke Doty. Let's see. Jesse Jacobs, winning by 3 is better than losing by 3, and 2-0 is better than 1-1. Man, we will take it. Jesse Jacobs with the comment of the day. Very good stuff. DGD, I'm just giving you hell, man. I appreciate you guys taking care of those guys from the upstate in week 1. Daniel Johnson says, Kevin Harris should have got the start and had 20-plus carries. Thoughts on that? Does that change the Georgia game? I have to think Kevin just wasn't healthy. I mean, that's the only reason that, it doesn't make any sense otherwise. Like, why would he only have 4 carries going into the second half? It doesn't make any sense. Also, you were saying we should feed him the ball the week before, and he got 7 carries, and they were like 1 play at a time. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was very surprised at that. I was very surprised at that, but I don't know if it was his health. I mean, I don't know what the deal was. Dre Picasso says, I think we can build a great run game if the O-line can properly, I assume you meant to say block. Z. White, Lloyd, Juju can make plays if the O-line can provide them some space to do so. The game against ECU was nail-biting just due to the O-line not blocking and passes being dropped or overthrown. Seeing Joyner as the quarterback was shocking, to say the least, but the only way we can build up the run game is if the O-line blocks that way we can build the run game, or at least provide time in the pockets so the quarterback can throw a touchdown or first down passes. Yeah, exactly. No, for sure. The O-line's got to be better. Again, if you don't take a better offensive line performance to Athens with you, you may not score a point. I mean, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. So the offensive line's got to get better. There's no question. They were not good enough Saturday. Again, we're glossing over a lot of things that went wrong and a lot of deficiencies because South Carolina won the football game. And that's okay, guys. Honestly, again, for a Gamecocks football program that hasn't won a whole lot over the last 2 seasons, I have no issue. And I encourage Gamecock fans to celebrate the victory, feel good about the victory. Your football team is 2-0. But like I said, guys, keep perspective and understand there are a lot of deficiencies on this football team. I mean, this is far, far from a perfect football team. The reality is this, guys. It was a great win. It was a great win. And yes, we can say refs and things didn't go your way. Guys, they're all part of the game. The reality is this. It took a last-second game-winning field goal to beat a bad East Carolina team. If you want to be honest, that's the reality. That's the reality. So that football team that you watched on Saturday, that team that needed a last-second field goal to win against ECU is going on the road to take on the second-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. That's the reality. The reality is this. You're a 32-point underdog. And you guys crushed Vegas last weekend. You crushed Vegas. Oh, my God, how can the Gamecocks only be a 2-point favorite? And Vegas nailed it yet again. Told you, guys. Told you. I'm not the I told you so guy, but I tried to tell you. So could South Carolina do the unthinkable? It's college football. Anything can happen. Realistically, you're a 32-point underdog, man. And I picked this game as a loss in the preseason. I picked it as a 21-point loss. Again, I'll give my predictions all later in the week and stuff like that. But, let's not pretend it's not going to be some tall task. And, one of the things I love to see, because I agree. Weird things happen in the South Carolina Georgia series. I totally get it. But I love the people that say, man, we play Georgia close every time. There's no way it'll be a blowout. Guys, they've blown us out before. Like, what about last year? 2018, 2015. Like, it's not like Georgia's never blown out South Carolina. So let's not, I'm not going to hang my hat on that, it'll be a close game because it's always close. Like, I think that has nothing to do with Saturday. Absolutely nothing. And I caught it from a couple of Gamecock fans when I tweeted Saturday. I said, Kentucky now becomes the biggest game of the Shane Beamer era to date. That night game at home. Now we know it's a night game, which hell yeah, by the way. Dude, I was so fired up when I found out that was a night game. But that becomes the biggest game of the Shane Beamer era to date. And some people said, you can't look over Georgia. What about Georgia? What about Georgia? Guys, we beat Georgia in 2019, and it did nothing for us. Nothing. This program needs to get back to stability and relevancy and respect. And the way you're going to do that, you got to start beating the Cats on an annual basis again. You got to beat the Missouris. You got to beat the Tennessees. Then we can worry about beating Georgia. But just a random upset against Georgia does nothing for your program. And it did nothing in 2019. You see what I'm saying? So if you beat Georgia, that's just a plus. But looking at this game, I mean, it's a tall task. It's going to be a challenge. There's just no other way to put it. It's going to be a tall task. It's going to be a challenge. There's a reason you're a 32-point underdog. So you can disagree. You can kick and scream and bitch and moan. But the reality is this. You are a 32-point underdog. That's it. And Georgia is far superior talented to you. That's it. Bottom line. That's it. I mean, guys, let me ask you a question. How is South Carolina going to score Saturday? I mean, I really believe, again, I'm going to give my prediction later in the week. Guys, getting to double-digit points is going to be, I mean, guys, I know we love to beat up on Clemson. Clemson didn't score a single offensive touchdown. Clemson's better than you offensively. I mean, that's not a bold statement. So, again, I'm not here to be Debbie Downer. I'm not here to rain on your parade. But also, too, if the game Saturday doesn't go the way you think it should, if the game Saturday goes negatively, don't come on social media and don't be all over Shane Beamer. Oh, he must just not be a very good coach because, no, guys, Shane Beamer's building this thing. It's going to take time. I told you guys on Saturday, hey, there were things that happened, guys, the discipline issues, the penalties. Shane Beamer's still working to change the culture. It's not an overnight thing, guys. It's not an overnight thing. It's going to be a process. It's going to be, you're going to have patience. I know fans hate that, but you're going to have patience. But the takeaway from Saturday, like I said before, guys, and I said on the podcast this morning, which, by the way, quick reminder, episode 495 did drop this morning. Had a great conversation, by the way, with my good buddy Brad Crawford. Really appreciate him taking the time. But talked about, of course, the ECU game and everything else. The takeaway is this. In a game that you could argue at some point you had no business winning. I mean, I said at the end of the third quarter, you deserve to lose this football game. You do. You don't deserve to win. In a game where everything went against you, you overcame and you found a way to win. You found a way to get a game that you had to have. And I think what that win serves is for a coach, for Shane Beamer, that is slowly but surely trying to change the culture and get his guys to buy in and trying to sell the vision on the recruiting trail. You can sell that, guys. You can sell that. Like, look, what we're telling you, what we're doing, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. There's a reason we're preaching what we're preaching and instilling what we're instilling. And it's wins like that reaffirm everything you're building. So a great win. I don't think it should just be brushed aside, guys. That was a great win for Shane Beamer. That was a great win for this program early in his tenure. Again, that's a game. Maybe last year, the year before, or whatever, we've seen Gamecock teams lose a game like that. So to win that football game, incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Kudos to all involved. What did I tell you guys in the preseason? I wanted to see how this team responded when it hits adversity. That'll tell me more than anything else. I don't even care if you go get beat. I don't care if you go get beat by 35 against Georgia. I don't care. I saw what I needed to see Saturday. And that was a team got down, was out of it early, and fought. Fought back, had heart, had determination. That assures me good things are happening in that building. Good things are happening because you have to have character to win a game like that. You have to have character to fight back in the face of adversity and go win a game like you did. So kudos to Shane Beamer. Kudos to all involved. Like I said, guys, this is not a great football team. They're not. This is not a great football team. It's going to be a task to try to go compete with Georgia. It is. It's going to be a task to go try to compete with them. But I think Gamecock fans, you can wake up today, you can wake up all week, and you can feel good that, you know what? Our program is going in the right direction. And I know that's crazy to say just after 2 games, but again, you don't win a game like on Saturday if you don't have great character and love and things are happening the right way. You don't win that football game. You don't win that football game. So kudos to all involved. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Robbie Davis says, hope you're doing well. The bottom line is this. We won the game. That's all that matters to me. And like I said a couple days ago, a prediction is just a prediction. I don't care what the score is as long as we win. I don't care. I've already prepared myself for it to possibly be a long day on Saturday night. When you hit rock bottom, the only way go is up. Go Gamecocks. Your friend Robbie Davis. Robbie, appreciate you. Drew from Spartanburg. How does this Georgia offense compare to that of 2019, regardless of who plays quarterback? A lot better. A lot better. I mean, you don't have Jake Fromm back there. I just think this Georgia football team, top to bottom, is a better football team. Bottom line. Xavier Hill, you don't need an elite football team to beat someone like Georgia, and not everything needs to take a long time to improve. All it takes is one special season. That's all it takes. Xavier Hill, yes, you do. You need to be an elite football team to beat Georgia. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, I understand from the fan side and the way you're viewing things, and not everything needs to take a long time to improve. Xavier, I think it's healthy to not set improper expectations and expecting Shane Beamer to work. Shane Beamer's a football coach. He's not a miracle worker, so don't ask him to perform a miracle. Let's jump to the phone lines. See who this is. What's going on? You're on the air.
What's going on, man?
What's up? How's it going?
Good, man. I was wanting to talk about Brad Johnson. I don't know if it's just me, but I swear moving him to linebacker has really changed the defense from defensive end to linebacker. He's gotten like 2 sacks already, and I just feel like Muschamp had him in the wrong position.
Yeah, again, there's guys on our football team that have benefited from a new coaching staff, and Brad Johnson is certainly one of them. I think there's no question there.
I mean, I could see him even NFL draft. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, dude, he's an athlete. He's an athlete. He's an athlete. He's got size. Yeah, why not? I mean, keeps playing the way he's playing, man. I mean, certainly he's gonna elevate his stock. There's no question.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
but I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what he does the rest of the year. I think he can be a real weapon for you.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of weapons on that defense. Biggest test will be against Georgia, Saturday.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be a test. We're going to really, really find out. You're going to really find out what this team's made of. So, I appreciate the call. Go ahead. I have no idea. I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out later in the week. They've got questions at quarterback just like we do. So who knows? Who knows?
All right.
So
all right. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. Let's jump back to the phone lines here. We got another call. Ringing off the hook. Ringing off the hook. DGD, what's going on, man? How are you?
Not bad, my man. Hey, look, I just want to say one thing. For every one of the Gamecock fans, congratulations on ECU. I know we had talked about it on the show. That was early test for y'all. So congratulations on pulling that out. Look, you're absolutely right about Georgia being too talented, and I'm not sitting here to talk about it, obviously, on game week. But look, you're right. Kentucky is probably one of the teams that I think South Carolina needs to look at. Tennessee as well. I think if you can catch Tennessee and start doing it regularly, I think that's a true sign of what Beamer's building there. So obviously, look, this is from an outsider standpoint, but I think y'all are on the right track, no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I agree with you. And again, I appreciate you calling in. Again, I know you're calling in from the Georgia side, and some people will try to tell you that, you're just a homer. But I mean, dude, I'm saying the same exact thing. I want people to, again, college football is such a week to week to week game, and I see people commenting, well, it's a rivalry, man, and like things are just different in a rivalry game. But like when that's what you have to bank on of why you're going to win the game, and you can't really cling to anything on the field. I mean, there's no reason on the field South Carolina should beat Georgia. None. It just Jimmy's and Joe's matter. Jimmy's and Joe's matter. And if you don't have those guys, I'm sorry, but I don't care how much you want it and how magical you think the rivalry is. You have to go out and play football and line up and do it. So.
No question about that. I mean, obviously, look, I'm one of these people that are very skeptical about Georgia where we are right now. I mean, I can't speak on all my other Georgia folks, but look, man, what happened in 2019, as much as Georgia fans want to sit there and say that we lost that game, you have to look at, South Carolina side. Y'all took advantage of 3 picks, 1 pick 6. That can't go unnoticed. So obviously for me, I'm very skeptical, because like you said, anything can happen on any Saturday. Do I expect South Carolina to win? No. But I do think that, all you have to do from a South Carolina fans to be excited about it is play competitive.
Yeah.
At least half the football, 3 quarters. If you play competitive and make it difficult to move the ball, I think that's a win in itself. And I know moral victories don't mean a lot, but it does in this case.
Yeah.
Because that gives you confidence going into Kentucky and Missouri and, moving down the road, especially if Doty comes back and, doesn't look rusty. I think that's the biggest key because I'm with you. I don't think Zeb's the guy. Obviously, he wasn't intended to, but, it's a good thing that he's got y'all to where y'all are now at 2-0.
Yeah.
Gives you some confidence going into it. But, just playing, physical and making competitive for at least a half. That's a moral win, guys. I mean, obviously I don't want to sound like too much of a homer, but I think that's something to take away from the game.
Yeah. I think there's nothing wrong, and it's actually healthy to have realistic expectations. Shane Beamer is a head football coach. He's not a miracle worker. So, I know everybody's going to cling to 2019, and you're right. Anything can happen, but you cannot go into every season expecting to have a miracle win. You just can't do it. Like, it's just, you can't bank on that happening season.
Right.
There's a reason why, I refer to that game as the greatest upset in South Carolina history. Like, it's not something that has ever happened or probably will ever happen again. So I'd love to be proven wrong. But,
yeah, completely right.
So anyways, hey, man, I appreciate the call. Really great stuff. So thanks, man. Later. Good stuff, guys. 843-790-3377. Jumping over to the TDC Questions channel. Cody Gaskins says, if I had to pick either beating Georgia or Kentucky, I'm going with Kentucky. Call me crazy, but I think we need to start beating them year in and year out. And Cody, I would say, I agree with you. And some people might be like, how could you say that? Bro, again, look at 2019. Beating Georgia did nothing for you. It did nothing. You need to reestablish your program as a legit contender. And I'm sorry, but you cannot pretend like your program is legitimate and elite or getting to that level if you cannot beat the Kentucky Wildcats. Miller, thank you, Miller, for the super chat. Thank you, Miller. I appreciate that. Going back to this comment from earlier about talking about the rosters, and yes, you need an elite roster to beat Georgia. Xavier Hill, did we have one in 2010 when we beat Alabama? Bro, what are you talking about? Yes. Look at that football team. Look how many guys on that team played in the NFL. Xavier, did we have an elite roster in 2019? I wouldn't call it elite. We did have some NFL guys, though, make some big-time NFL plays, but no, it wasn't elite necessarily. But again, are you really going to cling to 2019 and bank on that we're capable of pulling just a ridiculous upset we have no business in pulling? Again, not trying to kill optimism. I'm certainly not. And again, that's why I'd like to spend the Monday, maybe Tuesday, reflecting on the weekend and celebrating that win before. Because guys, Georgia's going to be a tough one. It just is. I'm sorry if you're looking for a show that's going to stroke your ego and make you feel like sunshine and rainbows, that we're going to go into Athens. we're going to pull the upset because we love the Gamecocks and it's a rivalry game. And that I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy. Georgia's elite. I picked Georgia to win the national title, guys. Georgia's elite. They're for real. It's going to be an extremely, extremely tough task for South Carolina. Extremely tough. John Gibbs, this is my personal opinion just for me. Georgia's almost like that Clemson weekend because that's our second biggest rival, especially conference rival. As an individual, get more juice for Georgia and Clemson. For that reason, I can always feel the Georgia weekend being an unpredicted weekend. If we can get to 3-0 after Saturday, we really can exceed all expectations. I hear you, John. I'll tell you what, though, Clemson being a rivalry weekend hadn't done shit for us, has it? So, I mean, that's all great, the majesty and all that behind a rivalry and the emotions, but you've also got to go play football. Emotions don't play the game. Players do. So, Carolina Titan O-line's a major example of how far our player development's behind. We should have been pushing ECU around with the experience we have on the offensive line. It is baffling to see how bad our O-line was. So, Liam Carney, we're already better than Tennessee. I think we're about even, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know. I know that, I know that Tennessee's not great at all. We'll see what happens when they play. But, yeah, Jesse Jacobs says, man, I'm still saying if we stay within 17, Chris is getting a $100 super chat. I appreciate it. Let's see. Carter Bingham, who has figured out what our offensive line woes are? We were never the greatest offensive line by any means, but you'd think with experience we would be at the very least decent. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you 110%, man. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't know what's going on with the offensive line. Jacob Edwards says, we are the second worst team in the East until proven otherwise. Russell Finters, watch what I'm telling you. We ran a completely different scheme this weekend than we did week one. Well, dude, yeah, if we insert Luke Doty, we're no doubt going to run a different scheme. You should be running a different scheme if Luke Doty comes back. Let's see. Yeah, the 2010 roster was great, bro. To act like the 2010 roster was anything less than elite is insane. It's insane. Let's see. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. Guys, like I said, I know we're all ready to look forward to this weekend. It's Georgia week. To hell with Georgia. You know, you love it. This is one of my favorite weeks of the year, too, guys. I hate Georgia. I loathe the Georgia Bulldogs. But before we close the book on the weekend, again, kudos to everyone involved. And that was a huge win for South Carolina, guys. That was a huge win. Overcoming all of everything that went against you. You had every reason to lose that football game. Every reason. And you still found a way to win. Now, with that being said, though, again, I think a lot of people that picked the Gamecocks to win by 28, that picked them to win by 21, that had these hopes and dreams of 8 or 9 wins, I think a lot of you gained some perspective over the weekend because this is not a great football team. It's not a great football team. Bottom line, it's not. There are nice individual pieces, and the encouraging thing, too, is this, guys. I picked 6-6 before the season. You can see those pieces. There are pieces there to go 6-6. There's no question. There are pieces on our football team to go 6-6. But 6-6 will be a great year, guys. It'll be a great year, and that's what I've been trying to say all preseason long. So, again, a great win, guys. We're 2-0. It feels great. Now the new season begins. So, let's see. Tim Dorn, have you thought that the O-line coach just might suck? That could be the problem with the O-line. I mean, dude, he just got here and it's been 2 games. You ready to fire him already, Tim? Jesse Jacobs says, how concerned are you about the dumb penalties so far? I thought Beamer would crack down on this. Maybe time will tell. Well, Jesse, Beamer's just the coach. He's just the coach. Players make plays. Players do stupid things. I mean, what? There's only so much he can do, man. Again, that's what I talked about. Hey, Cam Smith, for example. Love Cam Smith. Love his game. Okay? Had a great game. But Cam Smith's got a lot of J.C. Horn and Ishmael Kwamu in it. I'm not saying that in a positive way. He's got a lot of that selfish me, look at me flex, look at me stunt, I made a play. Like, dude, shut up and play football. Act like you've actually been there before. And that's the culture Shane Beamer's trying to change. And it's not going to be overnight, guys. It's just not going to be overnight. Let's jump back to the phone lines real quick. Luke RJ, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing, C Philly?
I'm doing well, man. So I'm assuming that game over the weekend didn't go quite like you thought it would.
No, I mean I expected the same thing. I've never been happier for a South Carolina win than that game right there, man. I just felt good after.
Yeah, dude, you had to have it. You just you can spin it whatever way you want and say, oh, it was just East Carolina, or we should have won by this or should have won by that. But you know what? Win's a win, and the possibilities of going to a bowl game are still alive. That's truly what matters after Saturday.
Yeah, there was no reason we should have won that game, and we got the dub. I mean, Juju came up big late. It was crazy, man. Felt good.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Guys making plays, and who'd have thunk that Juju Mcdowell would be the running back we're talking about most after week 2? I don't think anybody would have ever seen that coming, but here we are, man. Again, guys getting opportunities, and again, overcoming adversity, fighting back. I mean, that's a character win. That's a character win, and again, I think it should let Gamecock fans know this thing. It's going to be a process. You got to be patient, but it is heading the right direction. Good things are happening in that building.
Yeah, so I just want to call in and talk about the offensive play calls. I mean, I don't think they were all that bad. The only thing I can see from like a couch coach is just when we were running the ball, we were running to the short side of the field and either like a bunched up formation and running up the middle. And the only time we had success against ECU was when Juju got outside and was able to, break it out and have some space and make some plays, man. I just think, you gotta, if you look at some of the best teams in the country, man, I don't want to name teams or anything like that, but even the wideouts are all the way to the sidelines and they're just spread out, man. I just think, you gotta give these players some space if they want to have some success, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be an adjustment made somewhere. I mean, whether it's in play calling, whether it's in personnel, there's got to be an adjustment because I'm telling you right now, man, you take that offensive line that you fielded out there against ECU, you take that to Georgia, I don't think you'll score a point. I'm not even joking. I don't think you'll score a point. So you better get your ass right this week because if you don't, it's going to be a very, very long day on Saturday.
Yeah, man. I'm just so glad we won ECU. That 3.5 under win total it looks good after getting that win.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Again, absolutely. It's you just had to have it, man. You just had to have it. And again, it don't matter how ugly it was or whatever you want to call it. You got it. So.
Yeah, Beamer said we gotta do something. We gotta figure something out. I think we just spread the offense out a little bit more. The plays are fine. We got to get those players in space, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. Great stuff, guys. 843-790-3377. We are rolling, by the way. Hey, Will Muschamp, he stays taking L's because he couldn't stop the Daily Crow today. Again, 843-790-3377. Bad Brad 757 in the TDC question channel says, I know it's Georgia week, but with that announcement of the game time for the Kentucky game, do you think we don all black or spare ourselves on that one? No, I think we go Big Game Garnet. Anything other than Big Game Garnet's a mistake. I'm sorry. Anything other than Big Game Garnet's a mistake. Let's see. Jacob Cumby says, E.J. Jenkins' situation has me confused because he was one of the most hyped players in the preseason. Jacob, again, I think it just this is the fans' fault. Fans are the ones that hyped up E.J. Jenkins. I did not expect E.J. Jenkins to be an every down player. I thought he'd be a situational player, and it's interesting. I mean, he hasn't seen the field like hardly at all. But guys, he transferred in from an FCS school. Like, what did you expect? You thought he was going to be an all-conference guy at the SEC level? Come on, guys. Like, come on, guys. I think E.J. Jenkins will have a couple of plays this year that are really nice plays, and he's a mismatch nightmare. But there's a reason he was an FCS wide receiver. Like, if we're really being honest. So, Tyler Noel says, joining late today, that game should have put the Doty-Nolan thing to bed once and for all. When healthy, Luke is clearly QB1. What it does show is that the staff must not think Jason or Colton are close to ready to play meaningful snaps. Doty will start this week. Yeah, I mean, dude, guys, and again, yeah, I think your quarterback room beyond Luke Doty is very weak, very, very weak. There's no way to put it. So, no other way to put it, I should say. So, yeah, the Doty-Nolan conversation, Doty versus Nolan is dead. It's dead. Yeah. Luke Doty's his team's best quarterback. It's not even close. John Gibbs, regardless of anything, South Carolina is famous for always playing to its competition, bad or good. And with some luck, it could happen Saturday. I, of course, have realistic expectations, but at the same token, expect typical South Carolina to beat a number 2 Georgia team, but lose to Kentucky. Again, we'll see. Nate Moore, success will rely on how we respond on defense. Keep a solid backfield, and the offense will follow. Travis Ford says, we have zero evidence that Doty is any better. Dude, just from a skill set standpoint, I think Luke Doty is better than what Zeb Noland is going to offer you. No question. If your offensive line, Travis, isn't going to be any better than what we've seen, God, you need a guy. You need Luke Doty's athleticism because Zeb Noland is going to get crushed. Absolutely crushed. What was he, sacked 4 times? Zeb Noland was sacked 4 times against ECU's defensive line? What the hell is Georgia going to do to him? What would Georgia do to him? I mean, again, guys, I love the optimism. I love the positivity. I love the people thinking, oh, it's going to be 2019 all over again. But, guys, you have struggled. I mean, you struggled on the line of scrimmage yet again on Saturday. I mean, how are you going to stack up against UGA? I mean, again, if you're still skeptical of Luke Doty, totally fine. I'm not saying he's some proven commodity, but it ain't much. It's not very hard to be better than Zeb Noland, guys. It's not. I personally, I don't know about you, Travis. If you want to rock and roll with him, that's cool. But I don't want to rock and roll with Zeb Noland as my starting quarterback through an SEC season. I have no interest in doing that. I have no interest in doing that at all. So if you want to do that, that's totally your opinion. Fine on you. I have no interest in that. No interest in that whatsoever. Liam says, I really don't like this, quote, we're a running team thing. When Georgia or Kentucky or in Tennessee stacks the box, we have to pass. Let's just be a take what the D gives us team. I mean, Liam, yes, certainly. But, I mean, this team's strengths are at the running back position. Would you disagree? We're not loaded at wide receiver. I mean, I love the fact Dak Joyner got a touchdown catch. But, I mean, we have Josh Vann who's emerged, and then who else? Who else are you depending on? Who else are you looking at? I mean, this team's strength is the running back position, a.k.a. running the football. So, yeah. I mean, I think that's why – dude, I'm sorry. I think that's what we need to embrace. I think we need to embrace being a running football team because that passing game, especially the first 3 quarters, I'd say, guys, that passing game was brutal. I mean, that passing game was brutal. Brutal. So – I thought, honestly, man, I thought early in the game we gave up on the run way too quickly. I mean, we'd run it for 3 yards on first down and then pass it the next 2 downs. How does that make any sense? I feel much more confident South Carolina running the ball 3 times in a row and getting a first down versus passing it 3 times in a row and getting a first down. Yeah, I mean, take whatever the defense gives you. Do whatever, but you're going to have to establish the run to win games, guys. You cannot be serious in thinking that you're going to be able to just pass it 50 times and win. You're not built, guys. Saturday would reconfirm this. You're not built to win in 3rd and longs. You're not, bro. Every time South Carolina had a 3rd and 8 or a 3rd and 9, you're dead. You're done. You're done. You're not built to win that way. You're built to run the football, establish a ground game. Like, the goal against Georgia Saturday, number 1 offensive line has to be way better. I mean, that's where it all starts. Run the football, establish the run, keep the ball away from Georgia as much as you can. Keep it away from them. That's how you're going to keep the game competitive. That's it. That's how you're going to keep it competitive. So, let's see. How do you feel about the Colonel Zebulaya Twitter account? Dude, incredible, hilarious. That's the beautiful side of social media. You know, when you see stuff like that, that's the beautiful side of it all. Joshua Jenkins, let's at least get 2 rushing yards to have more than Clemson when they played Georgia. Yep. Just give me more than 2 rushing yards and a touchdown. We've got the bragging rights. Luke Boyd, if we can't run the football, we'll be in trouble, no doubt. Yeah, that's the understatement of the century. Keith Malsberger on the TDC Question Channel. Zeb is not mobile enough. Agreed. DGD says play to your strengths. Yeah, that's just a given. You know what I mean? Royal Birdman 114 on Twitch. Shout out my Twitch folks. Do you think that our entire playbook is completely dependent on having a mobile quarterback? This is how it seems through the first 2 games. I mean, I think this offense was definitely built with Luke Doty's skill set in mind. Yeah, that makes sense. Nathan, we just can't let the defense dictate us running the football or not. I mean, yeah, we've got to just be able to move bodies and run the ball. Establish the run. Establish the run. Daryl says, right on, Chris. It's what you call building a program. We're headed in the right direction, whether we win or lose big next Saturday. Just let Beamer continue to do his thing. Let's be realistic and positive. These kids will compete their tails off next Saturday, and whether we win or lose, let's just continue to try to get better and climbing that mountain. We just going into week 3. It's not going to happen overnight. We've matched our win total from last year already in week 2. I'd say we got a lot to be positive about moving forward. I agree with you. Great perspective, my friend. Great perspective. Matt Benton, how do you think this team would be if we retained Bobo on offense with this defense? I mean, you wanted to keep Mike Bobo? I didn't. Cade Grantham, I would think Ortre Smith would be good, but I don't think he's had a catch yet. He had 1 catch in the first game. Guys, like I told you, I sold my Ortre Smith stock. I'm not expecting anything crazy out of him. Counter Titan, I like the fact they kept Juju in when the game was on the line despite Kevin and Zaquandre on the sidelines. Beamer wants to win. Yeah, that was incredible. I think that says a lot. I think that says a lot. So, to hell with Bobo. All my homies hate Mike Bobo. JT Money, Doty's going to throw for 250 and have 75 rushing yards against Georgia. Mark it down. Okay, JT, I got you. Ben Smith, don't feel good about UK. Levis looks legit. Dude, he does. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Kentucky's a good football team. I mean, I hate it. I hate it as much as you do. But Kentucky's a good football team. Bottom line. Braden Tripp says, some of y'all are letting your love for the program blind you from the fact that we're not at that level yet. You need to be realistic while keeping optimism for the future. I mean, I agree, man. Again, you guys know I'm going to be realistic and call it like I see it and call it like it is. It was a great win on Saturday. Fantastic win. Gamecock fans, feel good about the win. Feel good about it. Your team's 2-0. Feel good about it, right? We're 2-0. It feels great. But also understand on the flip side, it took a game-winning field goal to beat East Carolina. I mean, that's just where you are right now. That's where you are. So keep that in mind as the Gamecocks enter the SEC slate. It's going to be a grind. There's going to be a lot of adversity that hits you. There's going to be deficiencies you have on your football team that get exposed, y'all. I mean, no other way to put it. You're going to be exposed at times. But it's like I told you guys in the preseason. I think this is a season where you are going to have moments of where you flash and you say, oh, wow, there it is. We can see it being built. Saturday was one of those examples. There's also going to be moments where you say, wow, we got to go recruit. We have holes in our roster. Unfortunately, I think those are upcoming with the SEC season. And that's okay. Give Shane Beamer time, though. He's a football coach. He's not a miracle worker, guys. He's a football coach. He's not a miracle worker. So don't expect miracles. If we manage to beat Georgia, my God, we can celebrate and kudos. And, dude, I will be the happiest. I will be the happiest son of a bee of all time. But he's a football coach, not a miracle worker. That's it. Eric Fryer says, won and covered the spread despite the adversity. I love you bringing that up, Eric, because everybody thought that spread was so crazy, so stupid. It's almost like Vegas knows what they're talking about. Under 58 was like the easiest pick ever in that game. So, let's see. Jesse Jacobs, if we manage a decent game against Georgia and Beamer beats Kentucky somehow, boy, watch out. Yeah, that Kentucky game will be huge, man. That Kentucky game, night game at Willie B, guys, it's going to be incredible. The tailgate's going to be going crazy. The stadium's going to be going crazy. Cannot wait. But first, you've got the Georgia Bulldogs this Saturday. Of course, guys, today, check out today's podcast, by the way. They did drop episode 495, breaking down everything with the Gamecocks win over East Carolina. Also, a very brief look ahead to Georgia. And Brad Crawford of 24/7 Sports joins me. Brad was actually in the stadium on Saturday. Really, really good stuff. Appreciate Brad taking the time, and really fun show. Again, the Gamecocks are 2-0, guys. No matter what. No matter how you slice it, South Carolina is 2-0, and that is something we can all feel good about. We can all celebrate while also acknowledging, hey, there's issues with this football team. There's things that have got to get fixed, and every football team basically around the country has issues and things they have to fix. But South Carolina's got a lot of things to fix. Eric Fryer says, big game Garnet with black lids for Kentucky. Absolutely not. Big game Garnet, white helmet. Do not do some stupid combo. I absolutely not. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't mind if we never wore a colored helmet ever again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't do it. You're going to ruin the big game Garnet with a black helmet. Don't do it. Either way, again, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Really good stuff. Feels good to come to you live on a Monday. I apologize for the issues, the streaming issues at the start, but you know what? We persevered, just like Gamecocks football. We were down early. We fought adversity early, and we came back to be on top. To be on top. Have a victory, guys. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Podcast Daily Crow rolling all week long, live at Tin Roof on Wednesday. You guys know the drill. We're rocking. We're rolling all week long, folks. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your Monday, and